Welcome back to the Tomb of Terror. Once again, I'm your host, Dr. Kratu Orloff, and it's April 8th, 2023. It's episode 709, possibly. Well, it's Saturday morning, about 8:30. Let's see. Got some, actually got a few cool things to show you, ladies and gentlemen. And then you never can tell what we'll see later in the episode. Let's see. I gotta move a bunch of CDs here upstairs. Okay, so. Yes. This is something I've been looking forward to. These came in the mail almost instantly after I ordered them. And these come from, get them in the right proper order. These come from Tommy O'Brien, who you can contact on Facebook. And he puts together these really neat little magazines. They used to call them fanzines. I got 4 of them for $24, including shipping. And the first one I got is this almanac. Give you kind of a close-up of it. Let's see, 32 pages of art spanning over 37 years, posters, flyers, books, book and advertising, satires, a few short stories, and recent paintings. Basically, this is just showing, it's like a sample of his art. So, this is actually a good format. It's copy paper. You just fold it over one time, and then you get a special stapler that can that's adjustable. It's on a long slide. I have one. It may still be in the garage, but this has kind of inspired me. Maybe I should go back to, I used to do these magazines in the 90s, and then I also did them when I was teaching. But anyway, you put 2 staples in on the spine, and you've got a publication. Some of the issues of the Sophisticate that I did back in the 90s, I did in this format. So he's got ads. He's got his, it's a story about flying saucers. I have not read that yet. I've been pretty busy the last week. He's done these little collages where he's taken paperbacks and given them new titles. You see a lot of that on Instagram, but he was one of the founders of that, Tommy O'Brien. Here's some of his other imaginary paperbacks. And then these are the EC covers that never were originally uploaded to the Facebook EC Fan Addict group. So he makes these imaginary EC covers, and there's a group on Facebook where these have appeared, but here you can have your own copies of these covers that he's created. You know, utilizing art from EC artists and then putting them together. Picture stories from science. Imaginary Tales from the Crypt cover. Weird suspense stories. And then these imaginary attempts, EC, when the Comics Code came in, tried to do magazines that wouldn't fall under the Comics Code, and some of the only one that worked was Mad, and that of course kept EC in business. And this is reprinted from Midnight Marquee number 7, January 2021, with permission. So he's got an article about this book here that I talked about, I think, in the last episode. A lot of his artwork And then he's done posters for bands. This is just all his, this is kind of, here we go. Let's see if there are any bands that I really know. I don't really know any of these bands. They may be local to where he's at, and I can't remember where he's at. I think he's, is he in Florida or is he on? Anyway, if you contact him, if you send him a message on Facebook, he'll send you the way you can, send him the money so you can get these cool publications. Okay, I know Helios Creed and the Meat Puppets, the B-hole surfers. I was never a big fan of butthole surfers, but. And this is a real ad where you can get these buttons. Are they buttons? I assume so. Of Eerie publications and horror comics of the 50s, and then looks like he has H.P. Lovecraft medicine bottles you can get. So it looks like he's taking full advantage of his color printer at home or at work. And then here is his publication. This is weird and an obscene word I can't say here on YouTube. Weird S. It's 666 cents. And you'd say, well, he's just reprinting Eerie publications. No, actually he isn't. He's doing it in the format of Eerie publications. What he's doing is he's taking what says Toxic Tommy's Eerie Pub ripoff. It's actually like a continuation, because what he's done here in the pages, okay, he's got Death Shoes, which was reprinted from Voodoo. Oh, I need my reading glasses. From the comic Voodoo number, I can't really read that, from Ajax, and it says there's some panels that are stolen from Haunt of Fear, the Haunt of Fear story, Poetic Justice. Then he's got Show Madness, which originally appeared in Dark Mysteries. He's got, man, one of these days I'll remember to actually put on my glasses before I start filming a show. This is a reprint from Weird Mysteries. The Creekmore Curse has art by L. Feldstein. It's from Adventures into the Unknown. And Corpses of the Jury is originally from Voodoo with art by the Iger Shop. And says, and so these, it's like the Eerie publications in that it's reprinting 1950s comic stories, but he's not changing the art, and it's kind of like Eerie publications never ended. You get this, I'll kind of thumb through the issue. The stories are printed in black and white, perfectly readable, providing I put on my reading glasses. Reproduction is good. He's got these cool looking ads, and let's see. He even does it like Eerie publications, where the last page of the story is on the back cover. That was a common thing with Eerie publications. So it's I highly recommend these fun little magazines. They're you like pre-code horror? This is this is kind of fulfilling that famous quote from Gandhi. You see it on the walls of your business or school or whatever, and it says, be the change you wish to see in the world. And if you wish to see there being more cool stuff in the world, then get out and produce your own cool stuff. And that was kind of the philosophy back in the 90s, when lots of people made their own magazines like I did, or made their own TV shows like I did with Joe Riley, The Hypnotic Eye. And here's a guy doing it today making his own new Eerie Publications magazines. And I think it's great. So that's issue 1. Here's issue 2. Oh, let's go back to issue 1 for a second. He has a little bit of explanation here at the bottom of the first page. Let's see what it says here. I just got these, and I've been so busy I haven't even... I'm really kind of looking through them the first time with you. These books were my first exposure to the pre-code horror comics of the 1950s. I'm presenting some of my favorites from my collection in the same crappy black and white format that effed with my young brain back in 1970. I discovered these horrid magazines when I was 9 years old. The covers were a sadistic mixture of monsters, gore, and torture. The contents inside were an assortment of Iger's Shop 50s horror reprints and many more stories from other publishers, which were redrawn completely and embellished with extra gore. The whole nasty history of the Eerie Publications can be found in Mike Howlett's book, The Weird World of the Eerie Pubs from Feral House. Great book by a great guy. So in the tradition of the early Eerie Pubs, I'm representing just reprints, but unlike the originals, I'm using other publishers besides Ajax. So anyway, that's his philosophy with this publication. So let's take a look at the next issue. This has got the ghostly guillotine, and that's from Voodoo number 9, I think it says. And he has Werewolves from Mysterious Adventures 19, The Thing from the Sea, this is reprinted from Eerie number 2 from Avon, The Ghoul of Eldritch Manor from Terror Tales 3, and Blood Revenge from Voodoo 8. So there's unmistakable. Yet these comic books remind me of being in my father's real estate office back in the 1980s, because my father was a heavy smoker, and these the individual that produced these magazines, you can tell, loves to smoke. It's very I don't know, people like my wife loves the smell of skunks. She loves the smell of gasoline being put into a car. Perhaps you love the smell of ashtrays. You will get that from these publications. Here's the Ghoul of Eldritch Manor. Silver Age Dave has an episode here on YouTube that shows he shows how to remove the cigarette smoke from comic books. Anyway, it's not a criticism, it's just the fact that these are rather pungent magazines. He has the wonderful Moon Monster ad. And then, see, there's the story, there's the ad, and then the last page of the story, just like Eerie Publications would do. And then we go to the current issue, Weird S number 3. I don't want to say that nasty word. She's saying, you left the toilet seat up, you blah blah. You one crazy. So this one features Terror of the Nightmares, the Juju Wishing Doll, and the Monstrous Ghost. Yes. Well, this has the Monstrous Ghost, and it's from Dark Mysteries number 1 from 1951 with art by Joe Orlando. And Joe Orlando is, of course, the guy that he worked for EC, and then he brought the EC format to DC Comics around 1969, 1970 with House of Mystery, House of Secrets. You know, he brought the horror comics looking very much like EC, you know, with Bernie Wrightson's art and everything. He brought him back. Fate Has 1,000 Faces, that's from Strange Fantasy number 2 from 1952 from Ajax. He's got the Cursed Pistol from Adventures into the Unknown, #1 from 1948 from ACC. It's got Juju Wishing Doll. That's from Fawcett, Worlds of Fear, #10 from 1954. Bank Night from Mysterious Adventures 1954. And The Phantom Hound of Castle Ein from Adventures into Darkness 1952. That's by art by Alex Toth. And Terror of the Nightmares from Dark Mysteries 16. That's from 1954. So it's just one of those things. This is a very small press thing. I don't know how many copies exist in the world of this. Probably not more than 100. I would say that's that would be, they're probably a lot less than that. So I would act on this. I kept delaying, and I thought, why am I delaying something this cool looking? A few years back, well, probably over 10 years ago at Best Buy, back when they still had DVDs, there started to be these collections of horror movies, and they would steal these covers from the Eerie publications and actually steal the titles too. And I thought, these movies look horrible, but I've got to get some of these DVDs, so I've got a few down in the basement. I'll show you in a minute. See what else we've got here. Oh boy. So how are you doing this wonderful spring day? This is actually a great day because right now there are cartoons on television on the Group Therapy podcast, but so I was enjoying those. In a little bit, let's see, what time is it? Oh, it could be in 15 minutes. I better turn on Dr. Silverage's channel because he'll be going live with his wonderful Saturday morning comic book show. He and Shannon do a great live show every Saturday morning. And then tonight, or this afternoon, around 3 o'clock Central Time, there's a wonderful show on David Wilcock, who is... how could I describe David Wilcock to those of you that don't know? You've probably seen him if you watch these ancient UFO, alien kind of shows. Would you call him New Age? No, I don't think I'd call him New Age because I kind of hate New Age, but that probably is what he is. I really enjoy listening to him. He's aligned with us politically. He believes in God and all that, but he also is into all this alien stuff. And I guess he right now lives in Colorado, and he's sequestered himself there for a couple of years since his divorce. He's working on hover cars. He's got some factory that's working on hover cars, but right now, apparently he felt he was communicated to in dreams by he says the Archangel Michael back in the 1990s, and then he would write down all of everything that was said. And now he's putting out 3 or is it 4 volumes of all these, what was told to him back several decades ago. And apparently it all aligns with all the horrible things that are happening now in the world, and also, I guess, offers us some hope. So he's putting out the books, and then today he's going live, and he says, if you don't buy the books, if you watch today, it'll pretty much give you a summary of everything that was communicated to me. So if you want a dose of hopium, because right now things seem pretty bleak, it looks like, both Fauci and the president are saying, well, looks like there might be another surprise epidemic next year. It's like, oh yeah, how do you guys always know when the surprise epidemics are going to start? And they're derailing trains in strategic areas. They say that if they get the soil contaminated, they pass. This is what I read. It could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe all be lies. But they say, well, okay. They contaminate the soil in your town, And then in 2030, they come around and say, hey, you know, this soil's all contaminated. You guys got to all move. We're going to confiscate your land. You got to move into this city where everything is real close and convenient. Everything will be 15 minutes away from your house. And everything will be digital, and you'll be tracked, and it'll be just like we'll have a big brother looking over you, taking care of you. So I don't know. It's probably all of they're supposed to be Agenda 2030. Now I know that I noticed on his Facebook page he's very anti-Donald Trump, the guy that made this. So I'm kind of nervous about telling him, hey, I reviewed your magazines. And then he tunes in this show and said, boy, that. Because I'm very. Every day I get a little more conservative as I see the horrible stuff happening in the world. But anyway, we're protected here in the Tomb of Terror in this wonderful museum of pop culture and Americana and ephemera and every other words you want to use. And so we've got about little more than 500 loyal followers out there. Oh, something really cool I discovered this morning. Okay, so here are my tips to you. Watch today, 3 o'clock Central, David Wilcock. He'll be live on YouTube. He might be live. I bet he's live on Rumble too. That might be a safer place to watch him because YouTube is, YouTube gave Right Side Broadcasting a strike just for showing last Saturday's Donald Trump rally. So they gave him a strike. They gave him a strike for something else. So they oh well. Rumble's a safer place. Oh, okay. So let's go look at the television. I'll show you. So watch David Wilcock at 3 today. You probably think I'm crazy after watching him, but trust me, he's entertaining. Okay, so we're watching carnival music, right? But let's switch the channel. I discovered this guy this morning, about 5 in the morning. And it's like, this channel is great. You got to subscribe to this channel. What was it? Let me see. Library. It was I need to go live sometime, I guess, do a live show. It's been a while since I did a live show. Okay, it's called Vampire Robot. Okay, look. The channel is called Vampire Robot. Okay, so, this guy's just got all this amazing footage. It might be taken from newsrooms, some local television news channel. I don't know. Some of it's more interesting to me than others. Here's browsing video games at FAO Schwartz in 1993. That's not that interesting to me. This looks cool. Hanging out at the arcade in 1981, part 2. See, this was only put up 2 days ago. So this is pretty cool. Just playing Nintendo before bed in 1988. That's 6 days ago. Let's see. Going to school in 1977. 7 minutes of that. This looks like entertainment. So I'm going to have to record all of this stuff. Okay. Going to the movies in 1998. To me, 1998 was just a few days ago. But I guess, depending on how old you are, maybe that would be really cool. Let's see. Following a guy around at a motorhome in 1978. That goes on for 14 minutes. Depending on how bored you are, you might be entertained by that. Well, it might be fun just to watch all the cars, passing by. A lot of stuff in malls. This is from 1996. You get to see what Hot Topic looked like back in 1996. You probably could care less. Working the checkouts at A&P in 1980. That's going to be probably pretty cool. 10 minutes of that. Hanging out at the arcade in 1981. 7 minutes, 25 seconds. How are you going to resist this entertainment, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to get better, though. Trust me. The Great Pandemic of '84, I don't remember that one, but I remember when they tried to push swine flu in 1976. Hanging around a McDonald's parking lot in 1997. Let's see. Flipping through the CDs, Tower Records in 1997. Yeah, there's more flipping. Oh, that's the one I just showed you. A mall in 1989. Most of this seems to have just been put up in the last couple of months. Hanging out at a KB toy store in the mall in 1998. Let's see. Getting drunk at a disco in 1977. That actually could be entertaining. All right. Inside a high school classroom on 9/11. 4 minutes, 28 seconds. That would be pretty interesting. I was in a classroom, not as a student, but as a teacher on 9/11. That was a pretty, there wasn't a lot of teaching that went on that day. Walking around a mall on 9/11. Where does this guy get this footage, man? That's what I'm wondering. It has to be from a newsroom, from the basement. This guy must work for like Channel 5 News in Dayton, Ohio or something, and is just able to get access to all this raw footage. Playing the arcade at the mall in 1991. I don't know the origin of this footage or where it's coming from. I just think it's glorious that it's up. Ordering food at Burger King in 1982, if you want 39 seconds of that. Riding the elevator at World Trade Center for 5 minutes. That's kind of scary. Hanging out at the arcade at the mall in 1989. Oh my gosh, look at that guy. Yeesh. Let's see. There's some good. Oh, shopping at a comic book store in 1992. That'd probably be interesting to some of you that are. A lot of you guys are into comics. Let's kind of scan through this thing. 1992. To me, 1992 seems like, but that's actually over 30 years ago. It doesn't. Oh, they're buying the stupid Superman death comic. That's probably why they were in the comic store, because it was news that Superman had died. This must be 4 minutes. Happy New Year. The 80s begin. Oh, these are people scared. Y2K support group in 1999. Let's see. Wishing everyone a Merry Christmas for 1977. 11 minutes of that. Playing Sonic next to Santa Claus at the mall in 1992. So, oh, shit. Pardon me, I didn't mean to say a curse word. Anyway, lots of fun. Buying tickets at the oh, that's the Star Wars re-release. That doesn't matter. There's actually footage from 1977 of the real when Star Wars was released without them cutting out all the special effects and putting in video game looking footage. Hang out with the teens of 1998 at a CD store. It just seems infinite. Christmas shopping at FAO Schwartz in 1994. They got the Marvel Universe even then. That was before Marvel went bankrupt. Oh, that was, let's see. More browsing CDs at a Virgin Record store in 1998. Let's see. Um, Trust me, there's some good stuff on here. But where did it go? Oh, inside an Incredible Universe store in 1993. Those stores went out of business, but they were pretty spectacular and insane. There was one near me back then. Oh, come on. I know there's more stuff. Costume shopping for Halloween in 1997. Christmas shopping at Target in 2000. Well, 2007 seemed like yesterday to me. VCR browsing at a Circuit City store in 1977. Wow. Hanging out inside the arcade at a mall in 1998. Shopping at a J.C. Penney store in 1973. You got 8 minutes of that. Okay, give me something interesting. Where's the good stuff? Another visit to Aladdin's Castle Arcade in 1981. Some of this may be more interesting to other people than me. Let me see. Grocery shopping at a Piggly Wiggly store in 1996. I miss Piggly Wiggly. That was a San Antonio staple. Here's a guy downloading music on the internet in the year 2000. Inside Disney World in 1974, breakdancing, no interest in that. Walking around and driving around Las Vegas in 1967, 12 minutes. That's really cool. Okay. Christmas. I'll tell you what would be more interesting is I saved a bunch of these into a playlist for me. So let's look at my playlist because otherwise it's going to take forever. So what you need to do, see, you're logged into Gratu Orloff's Tomb of Terror. Well, I don't know how it would be for you. Oh, well, I'll have to look. Okay, let me get in on my wife's account here. So I'll go on as if I am Greta Orloff. Okay, so I'll be able to show you the way. Okay, so I look up Gratu Orloff. Okay, so oh man, I lost a subscriber. Just before I went on the air, I had 527 subscribers. I went down to 526. Somebody out there hates me. Oh, it's so wonderful. Somebody hates me. All right. So you've got the uploads. That's the last episode, which is now 301 views. Let's see. Got a lot of views on the Hypnotic Eye episode. You know what I'm thinking of doing? And let me ask you what you think of this. After the Hypnotic Eye ended, I would still kind of put together collages of video clips on DVD-Rs, and they were 2-hour collections of weird stuff. I kind of thought of them as an extension of that Hypnotic Eye show, episodes that no one ever saw but me. And I've just been thinking, I kind of inspired by Tommy O'Brien's, and again, his name is Tommy O'Brien if you're wanting to get those comics I just showed you. Go to Facebook, look up Tommy O'Brien, or you can just go to the EC Fan Addict group page on Facebook, and you'll see he posts a lot on there to find that magazine. And O'Brien is O''Brien. Tommy O'Brien. Anyway, inspired by that aesthetic of making your own stuff, like we used to back in the old days, your own magazines, your own shows. And I could never put together a clip show like the Hypnotic Eye and put it on YouTube because there'd be stuff that they wouldn't allow up because of music. It just, if I wanted to use music and stuff, it zaps you and gives you a copyright claim. So I thought, what if I just put together a collection of whatever I want on DVD-R and just sell it through the mail. What would be a good price point for that? Would you, if I was to put together a collection of the coolest stuff from my collection and stuff I found here and there, and you got a 2 hour collection, and I put out like a new episode every month or every couple of weeks, possibly, what would be a good price point? Would that be worth $10, $15? I mean, basically, I'm trying to make a little extra money. I'll be honest with you, but that would be fun and be able to get you stuff. And yeah, money is kind of tight here at the Tomb of Terror, to be quite honest with you. So it's just an idea. If I was to put together an actual show called The Tomb of Terror, but it was very much like The Hypnotic Eye, and I host it, and it's just amazing, like the most amazing collection of stuff you've ever seen. With $15, and then it would come in a little. I'd make some artwork for the shell that the DVD's in and all that. You tell me, how many of you would be interested in that first? How much would be a fair price for it? Because then there'd be postage and all that kind of crap too. Anyway, so we're looking at my page, and you go down, and these are live streams that I've done. So I haven't done one in 3 weeks. Okay, and then you've got these collections of things. These are playlists I've created. This is the playlist for April 23 of stuff that I just want to watch, and I'm going to watch it later. This is music that I put up that I'm going to record off of YouTube. This is the music I found during April, and it's only the 8th day. Here I'm already collecting music for this Christmas 2023. Okay, so let's take a look at my April stuff. I have 126 videos I've already put into my folder for cool stuff I found on YouTube in April 2023. So here's 1940 World's Fair. You've got Jerry Siegel, Donenfeld, Siegel and Schuster there in 1940, right after Superman's created.
Easter weekend, Friday through Sunday in Hy-Vee. Cooks, smoked.
All right, you got to watch commercials. Anyway, this is just I got this big Superman balloon at the Thanksgiving Day parade. Anyway, neat stuff. 1978 Radio Shack commercial. There's Frederick Wortham discussing Superman. Trailer collections. You can look at this, guys, if you want. Let's find. Oh, this is interesting. Someone put together. Where was it? I don't know where it is. Never mind. Oh yeah, this is the David Wilcox show. I've already got it in my playlist. It's live. Archangel Michael's prophecy of whatever. Live in 5 hours. April 8th it says 8 p.m., but it's really 3 p.m. Okay, so this is something I should show you. This channel Planet. You've seen them on this show, on live broadcast. You've seen my friends that run the Channel Planet from back in Arlington, Texas, and they have some cool videos up. Anyway, they're putting together. This thing that has only had 12 views. Are you guys insane? Here's a story. Let's go to their channel. They only have 15 subscribers. Well, let's get it up to 100 by the end of the day. They've got great stuff. This is all from their upcoming show that they're doing, kind of a Sesame Street kind of show with puppets, and I think it takes place in a city dump or on another planet. I'm not sure, but last time they were on, they said they were making little miniature trash bags so they could create a mountain of trash. But it's very well done, these little clips from their upcoming show.
There's all kinds of jobs in the world.
drunken police officer.
It's stuff like this. I like this one.
CPS Kids. Let's count.
Yeah, I recommend you go subscribe to their channel. Okay, back to our playlist. Here's the soundtrack to the New Zoo Review. Oh, that's another cool thing. Is I saw the either it's the daughter, it must be the granddaughter of the New Zoo Review founders. Doug and Emmy Joe. Did an interview with her grandparents the other day, and then they're still completely recognizable as Doug and Emmy Joe. So that, I don't think I see that in my playlist, but that's fun to watch. Okay, these are the ones from that. Okay, shopping in a grocery store in 1972. There's an episode of Jot I found. Okay, people shopping at a Kmart in 1992, Star Wars 1977 movie opening reactions and lines. I remember those lines. You don't have lines at movie theaters like that anymore. They used to call them blockbusters because people would be lined around the block at the downtown movie theaters. That's where that term came from. Yeah, but look at these.
This crowd will soon be among almost 40,000 who have seen a new science fiction movie at North Park Cinema 2. The movie is
This is from Dallas. North Park was in Dallas. So I've got Getting Drunk at a Disco in 1977. Let's Go to the Mall in 1996. Playing the arcade at the mall in 1991. Shopping in a comic book store. These are the ones I thought would be interesting to record. Shopping at a Kmart during a blackout in 1992. Christmas shopping at Toys R Us in 1991, Christmas shopping at Walmart in 2006, preparing for the end of the world at a Barnes & Noble in 1999, arcade, VCR shopping, let's play Atari in 1982, chilling with a class of 1978, let's go to Disney World in 1973, early Christmas shopping at Woolworth store in 1990, opening a Blockbuster video store in Hollywood, 1990. It looks like they got RoboCop there in person. Renting videos at a Blockbuster store in 1989. What else? Buying video games at a Kmart store in 2000. I thought that would be interesting. Inside a Kmart store in 2001. More. That's part 2. This is part 1. Inside a Toys R Us. Oh, Garbage Pail Kids Controversy TV report from 1986. That'll be fun to watch.
Uncle Sam with his finger up his nose. Here shows Mother.
Oh, this is great.
Sam with his finger up his nose. Here shows Mother, wanted for child abuse. And you can put fill your mother's name in right here.
They're called the Garbage Pail Kids, a parody on Cabbage Patch Dolls. But parents aren't laughing.
He's sitting there with a button in his lap ready to, or he does. He blows his head off, and when it comes off, it looks like the atomic bomb. It looked...
Anyway, a look at some Hot Toys for Christmas 1983. Return of the Jedi opening day. Return of the Jedi toys, Halloween 1982. You guys, you got to tune this in. Batman movie merchandise from 89. Consumer Electronics Show from 1991, Star Wars opening in Japan, hang out at a mall in 1978, reaction to 9/11 at DFW. A lot of this seems to be from Dallas. This is probably a Dallas person that's put all this footage together. Vampire. I wonder if it's someone that I know from back in the old country. Reaction from moviegoers to Jaws in 1975. That's great historic footage. A visit to Aladdin's castle in 1981. Oh my gosh, it's like a wonderful weekend to discover this footage, to have David Wilcock. Shiza. Dr. Silverage may have already started. I better get him on. More shopping, Sears 1982 Christmas shopping holiday season. Okay, so I might be tardy, but for the Dr. Silverage show. So I type in hold on, let me go back in as Gratu to get to Dr. Silverage, so I'll be showing you that I'm the one watching. Okay, so I switch identities to Tomb of Terror. Okay, now, have they gone live? I hope not. Oh yeah, they're live. Shoot. Lo, the Breening coming. Feeling the, okay, I gotta click on that. Sometimes on these live broadcasts, you click on them, you get a black screen. It's like weird, but I don't know what it is. It's probably my Wi-Fi connection. There it is. Oh, they got Eric Breen on.
Have you on board with us today? Is Maranya. Welcome aboard, Maranya.
Oh. She got up early for this.
All right. This is kind of weird to be doing a show while watching my friends on here. I was going to go down to the basement, but now the show's on, so I got to kind of stick around here and kind of halfway watch. There's Paulo commenting. Okay. Let's see, what else can I show you in here? I should be on there saying, let's look at these CDs, mainly because I got to clear them off the floor. All right. This is the magic of Pam's. Pam's is this is a whole. I drove to Pam's Studios, which was in Dallas, back. Oh, it was over 20 years ago. I went and drove to their studios to buy this. It's got all their. One disc is in upside down. Pam's are the jingles that you hear on the radio. Pam's was the studio that made these jingles. Yeah, God damn it. That was not good. God damn it.
The cells you had before you started using alcohol stayed in your head. Don't go.
Hey, well, it'll work, right? Dr. Montilla. Good morning, sir.
Well, I said I wouldn't use any foul language. Looks like everything's fine. Slight crack in the plastic there. Damn it. I was trying to fix and put them all in the correct way, and I wound up letting them fall. Alright. Well, there's never an episode of the Tomb of Terror without some horrible mishap, right? Anyway, these are all the great jingles from the 50s and 60s that you hear on radio stations. Damn it. Okay. I gotta take these upstairs. This is my main deal, what I'm trying to do here.
I remember and luckily still have my first comic, FF155. Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys, but I think I have maybe one or two from like my 60s collection. That was it. I got most of my bronzing is right off the rack, but then my silver age got thrown out twice on me. So,
Yeah, at least my mom never threw away my comic books. That's one thing. But she did get rid of a few toys that I guess were perceived as broken. Yeah, there was never a mass throw out of comics. My older brother's comics from the 1960s disappeared in a move, but for all I know, they didn't care. I don't know that they were thrown away by a parent so much as in one of the many moves, because my father was in the military, it was just perceived that they didn't care, and I don't know what happened to them. But anyway, it would have been cool if they had been passed down to me, but unfortunately they weren't. Okay, let's try to look at these without throwing them on the floor. Here's the best of Shelley Fabre. A lot of reflection in here. Here's tragic songs from the grassy knoll. So these are all songs about the Kennedy assassination. Los Straitjackets is a modern band. Well, modern meaning they sound like the 1960s, but they were from the 90s or 2000s. I don't know if they're still around. To me, this is a current band, but they may no longer be around for all I know. Here's the soundtrack to The Wild Angels. You've seen it on vinyl here. It's a collection of Francis E. Deck's rants. You can hear them on YouTube as well. This is music from my Italian movies. Golden Records. These are the, but it's all Halloween Golden Records. Music of the Platters. Homer Henderson, the amazing one-man band out of Dallas. My wife just told me he passed away a few years ago, and I wasn't aware of it. He was a cool guy. He did a great song. Lee Harvey was a friend of mine about being a little kid in Oak Cliff, and the friendly guy across the street that would throw the baseball to him turned out to be Lee Harvey Oswald, and he's saying, I know he didn't do it because he was a great guy. It was a joke song. It wasn't true, but it was written as such a sincere parody of a country song that it was just, it's really hysterical. I'm sure you can see a video of that song here on YouTube. Okay. There's a little EP from the band Hole. I don't know what these are. These are just blank CDs. I need to put them in and see what they actually are. I was just given this as a present the other day. It's something you can put your drink in while you float in a swimming pool, which I don't have. Marvel, Your Universe. Well, it's not my universe anymore, but it used to be a lot of fun. There's got a lot of stuff just around here, like May 2003. To me, this is brand new, but now I realize that's 20 years ago. X-Men 2. That really was a good movie. That really was great. Here's something cool. Look at this. It's made like a picnic basket. It's the picnic basket. Cartoon classics. See, it even opens like a picnic basket. And inside are CDs. Volume 1 is Hanna-Barbera Classics. Volume 2, more Hanna-Barbera Classics. Volume 3 is all Flintstones, Stone Age melodies. And Volume 4 is all these cartoon sound effects from Hanna-Barbera cartoons. I wonder if all of that will show up on a high-definition big screen TV. But as I recall, the amazing stuff that's on here, which was amazing when I got this many decades ago, when it had come out. Man, it's rough. I'm getting old, not being able to read this. I used to be able to read really. This could be from the late 80s. I don't know. But anyway, it was really cool to get like the Scooby-Doo theme in stereo. But what I remember was really cool was, oh, here we go. It has the Space Ghost main title, Johnny Quest opening and closing credits, and a lot of music from the, well, not a lot. It's got the Top Cat underscore, the main title, the end titles. But the thing is, on YouTube, you can get lots of more background music from, you can get Space Ghost music. You can get Wild Wild West music. There's a lot of great soundtrack music that is on YouTube that really, so far as I know, was never put out on vinyl or CD, and so it's important to find it and record it. Look at this, 1959 annual custom cars. Man, I want to go watch this show, and I have to entertain you guys. I'll watch it on the reruns. Lots of cool, amazing stuff in here. So, your homework. Go watch David Wilcock's show. Go back, watch his old shows. Today at 3 o'clock. Go to that what was it called? Vampire, whatever that vampire channel was that had all that cool news footage. Go subscribe to them. Watch that. Watch Dr. Silver Age's show. Tell me down below about your thoughts of me doing a video show. And I mean, I could do a show like that and upload it to archive.org and probably not be concerned about them getting upset about me using music and stuff, because Hypnotic Eye seems to do okay there, and the other shows that are similar to Hypnotic Eye seem fine, but I don't know. I want to make some money too. 1957 edition. Look at these other books you could get. Talking about baseball, I found that there's some more pictures of my grandfather on the internet. It's every so often, maybe once a year, maybe every couple of years, I'll do a search on the internet for my grandfather, because my grandfather was a professional baseball player that was recruited. Apparently there's some dispute about what his age was when he first went into the major leagues. Some say he was 17 years old and was recruited out of school, and some say that he was on the internet that he had graduated and he was 19 when they. But the story I always heard in the family is he was recruited out of high school. He quit high school to play professional baseball, and he played for the Chicago. And that was about 19, somewhere very early 20s. So he played for the Chicago Cubs, the Phillies. In 1931, he played for the New York Yankees, and he was on the same team as Babe Ruth. I've created a new player, and Lou Gehrig, and Phillies, Cubs. I think he played for whatever team Louisville had. I don't know, but anyway. He was a left-handed pitcher, so his name was Philip Lefty Weinert, Weinert. You can look him up, Lefty Weinert. And I know that the name Weinert is German, and then I think his mother was named Bertha Orloff, and so Orloff is a family name. So it was, they came from kind of the border between Russia and Germany, where, it kind of changed. One year it might be Germany, another year, another time period, it could be Russia. And all I knew about that giant side of the family, my father's side of the family, I knew that he had 1 million brothers and sisters, and I had a zillion cousins, and I never met all of them. I never even met all of my uncles and aunts, and most of them have passed away by now. But when I did meet them, it was like they were so impressive. It was like meeting the Kennedys or something. They were all One aunt was a judge, you know, someone else would be an engineer. They would all be very well spoken and always seemed to have ties on. They were just so impressive to me, his side of the family. And and yet their dad was, you know, never finished high school. He was a baseball player, but he was very smart, because you don't have to finish high school to be incredibly smart. And then the mother, I don't believe she finished high school, but was incredibly smart and would read the dictionary for fun to be better at playing Scrabble, and was just very religious. And she came over from Ireland as a little girl, and everyone was raised Catholic. And it wasn't until, I guess, in the last 10, 15 years that I found out that my grandfather, the baseball player, was Jewish, and he had married an Irish woman. All the kids were raised Catholic. He never ever talked about being Jewish. Never. I don't know if he converted to Catholicism. I don't think he did. I think it just wasn't an issue. Maybe. So, but, you know, I kind of found out because they put out like a little baseball card, famous Jewish baseball players, and it's like, oh, really? I didn't know that. So anyway, there's a point behind all this. If you're into baseball, you can look it up. Anyway, he was very striking. The pictures you see of him, if you look him up on the internet, he looks like a tough guy, and he was tough. And he was a very nice guy, very intelligent. He had a temper though, and so okay, so Casey Stengel was playing for, I forget what team, but he had played on the Phillies with my grandfather, and he didn't have a good time playing for the Phillies, and he may not have remembered my grandfather very well, but Casey Stengel was a left-handed batter, and my grandfather was a left-handed pitcher, and I guess the Phillies was the team my grandfather was playing for at the time, and I guess the first pitch he must have hit him in the shoulder, and he got really pissed, but he got onto base, right, and I guess he went up again, and he just thought those balls were coming too close to him, and maybe it was intentional, I don't know, but he charged the mound, and according to the internet, was shouting all kinds of anti-Semitic things at my grandfather. And my grandfather went into him, and Casey Stengel lost the fight. In fact, the next day, the newspapers printed a parody of Casey at the bat, the famous poem, right? Instead of at the end of, it always, at the end of the poem, it says, "And mighty Casey had struck out," and they printed, "And mighty Casey was knocked out." So anyway, 4 policemen came out of the stands and broke up the fight, and my grandfather wasn't hurt at all, and Casey Stengel was pretty effed up, and policeman said to my grandfather, "You want us to take him under the stands and finish the job?" Imagine them saying something like that today. Anyway, so oh, okay. So the whole point of my telling all of this story, and it all spurred by me hearing Eric Breen in the other room talking about baseball, is that there's a picture now online that shows Casey Stengel being taken out, being dragged out by these 4 policemen. So I never saw that photograph, but it's on the online now, so it's really cool. You think, well, why aren't you rich, Gratu Orloff? Why are you hoping people will donate $5 to your PayPal? Let's think, well, everyone else asks on YouTube for help contribute to the show so I can buy coffee. I don't drink coffee, but it's like, well, I'm not rich. Well, first of all, baseball players in the 1920s and early 30s, there was not television, and, well, radio was starting to come in, but baseball players didn't necessarily make millions of dollars back then. And he had a family of, I don't know how many uncles and aunts I have, a lot. But no, I mean, yeah, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth made big money. But have you ever heard of Philip Lefty Weiner? No, he's it's he's mainly famous for that incident with Casey Stengel. Is what he never had a baseball card until the 1990s, from what I understand. Anyway, a few years ago, I bought the autograph of my grandfather off someone on eBay. Can you imagine buying an autograph of your own grandfather, just that he had sent to someone on a postcard? But anyway, so yeah, I might. So yeah. But I didn't. I didn't come from a rich family. My parents scrimped and saved. They shopped at Sears instead of Neiman Marcus. They never bought the most expensive stuff, and so that they could pay my way and my brother's way through college and live. We didn't like worry about starving. And they managed to save some money up, which is something I can't do. But so my father went up pretty high in the army to a full colonel and all that, and got retirement. But and then I inherited a house and was able to sell a 2,500 square foot house, and then move to a small town and buy a house that's over 6,000 square feet. But that's just because I inherited a house, and I inherited a little bit of money, and I sunk it into collectibles like pinball machines and stuff like that. So I'm not rich by any means, but I mean, I got a lot of cool stuff. Anything. So that's. But no, I'm not one of these people that's spending millions of dollars every month buying slabbed comics that I can't even open. It was that wasn't easy to spend the $24 on those little mini comics, to be honest with you. Okay, I hate it when people say "to be honest with you," because it's like like Biden will always say, "No joke. I'm telling you the truth." Like people that say, "I'm telling you the truth." It's like, why do you have to tell me you're telling the truth? Is everything else a lie? But when you tell me it's the truth, then suddenly it's the truth. Oh well. Okay, here's the Fuzztones, a 60s style band from the 80s. Here's the Fuzztones in Heat. Oh, I was telling you about Southern culture on the Skids last episode, but look at the great cover they have on this one. The one I showed you, the cover looked very nondescript, but this one, I don't even remember this band, but I think I bought it just for the Coop art on the cover. I don't remember what the music's like. Well, here's another record from Hole. Wagner,